My mom said all she ever had to do was give me paper and crayons and I could entertain myself for hours. I've always loved to draw, especially cartoons. I love drawing cute little faces. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Like I was telling you, I was always in super good shape and took really good care of myself.
Oh, my mom is just a super fun grandma. She still is. But she was the grandma that when we go to Lake Powell, she'd hike with the kids, take them up on the mountains. She was the water skiing grandma. She was the grandma who would make them smoothies every morning. She's a very hands-on, fun grandma.
When I turned 60. And then I just felt like I was going downhill. I thought, what is wrong with me? I was so healthy in my 50s, and what's wrong here?
She had been feeling poorly, mainly lack of energy more than anything else for quite a while.
It was the night of the Jubilee. I got a call from the doctor, and he says, you need to go to the emergency right now and get a blood transfusion. And I'm saying, what? I'm at the Jubilee of Trees with my kids. I'm not getting this wait until the morning. No. You gotta go right now. He said, you only have half the amount of red blood cells that you need to function normally. You could just pass out at any time.
I remember meeting Joan about 4 years ago, it was almost Christmas time.
Dr. Lynn walks in, the first time I'd met her, Karen Lynn.
Even when you had really low blood counts that might put me to the ground, Joan's sitting there smiling, going, I feel fine, I feel great.
She says, I'm 99% sure that you have Waldenstrom's
macroglobulinemia.
That's a mouthful.
You should ask her to spell it for you, and she's got her own song or tune for it.
Macroglobulinemia.
It's a diagnosis where you have cancer cells that produce an excessive amount of protein.
The good news is that it's easy to treat and easy to manage. So I thought, well, that's good. If I have to have cancer, I'm glad I have this one.
Dr. Lynn was talking about how the serious nature of this, and Joan said, well, I'm a healthy person. And Dr. Lynn says, well, you have cancer. And Joan said, well, I'm a healthy person with cancer.
They did the process which is called plasmapheresis. And they completely drain all your blood and filter out all these IgMs that have built up.
I always say jokingly, I'm a vampire. That's part of my profession, right? I'm pretty sure she's had enough of this.
It completely knocked the IgM number way down to a safer level, and it didn't come back up. So life was good, and I got to ring the little cancer bell. I was in remission for 7 months. Life was going great.
And then she started having this pain in her leg, and just things started not looking right.
So I just went to the urgent care, and he did an x-ray, and he came back and brought a picture, and he said, you have got a tumor in your leg, and it's eating your leg from the inside out.
So she's got our original Waldenstrom's, which we're watching, and now she's got a diagnosis of a high-grade B-cell lymphoma.
That was awful. That was, that was not a good call.
It's very, very aggressive. And we're gonna have to do a lot harsher chemotherapy this time.
I just started to cry. I was so devastated because I didn't know, if they were going to be able to treat. I knew it was a different kind of chemo.
So that night, after I got the bad news, I cried all night long.
We did the cancer drill once. We're good, we're done. We don't need to worry about that anymore, but no, she has to do it again, and that was hard.
It didn't seem fair, but again, cancer's not fair. And it was hard. I think she definitely was in denial, and a lot of us thought, of anybody to get it, Mom got it.
So at this point, we did chemotherapy. She showed up when she needed to.
She'd go in for infusions and get that, and then she would be not feeling very well at first, but then really for the next several days it should feel worse.
It's bad. I mean, you'd lay in bed, and with the chemotherapy, especially after you've had chemo, about 5 days after, you hit rock bottom. Well, I was vomiting, and John had to clean that all up.
Your normal priorities in life are now secondary to what she needs to have happen. And so you just make that adjustment, and that's how your life goes for 3 years.
And I just remember laying in bed thinking, I don't have the energy to get up and do the most menial tasks.
Numbers 4, 5, and 6, she got an infection, so she had to be hospitalized so they could give her intravenous antibiotics.
She was really beat down. She had just been through so much for so long, and she became tearful, and she apologized and apologized after for being that way. And it was like, Joan, most people would be this way at diagnosis, not nearly 2 years into this journey.
After a whole round of 6 chemotherapies, we then added in 2 more inpatient chemotherapies, and we were finally done. And I will say that was probably a year ago.
5,
And that was a year ago.
4,
May was my last treatment.
3.
Haven't been sick since. Okay, healthy as ever. Okay, my stomach's on fire. Cancer's no respecter of persons. It can get anybody. Oh, I've always said I hit the cancer lottery twice. I am so grateful for all those doctors and nurses and everybody that took such good care of me, and everybody that loved and supported me and prayed for me through all of this. There's a picture of Dr. Nadal, and he gave me the Best Pajama Award. They were just, I don't know, I just loved them all.
If you can make a difference in the moment for one person, one day, that's rewarding. Then I know I've done my job.
So I think what we're working with foundationally is a great team, a team that's accessible to the patients. And then we've got the future right next to us. It's nice if it's in the same building. We've got brilliant physicians like Dr. Nadal, who's running precision genomics.
If we can understand better what kinds of diseases or healthcare conditions our population might face, then we can predict those and intervene earlier to prevent some of those worse outcomes from happening. For this reason, we have launched the Heredogene population study.
And Joan and I have done that. We've had our blood taken and filled out the forms and all that good stuff.
We're moving forward towards better understanding, better profiling cancer. We will be able to avoid chemotherapy and use targeted therapy.
We're committed to helping people live the healthiest lives possible. The Heredogene population study is how we're going to do that.